Is Donald Trump heading for a big-ass orange jumpsuit? That's the question that arises now from the appointment of a special prosecutor in the United States by the Attorney General Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, the Department of Justice in the United States, has been investigating Trump's crimes for the last 12 months, 18 months. The crimes are to do with the removal of government documents which were classified and highly confidential and so on, property of the people of the United States, property of the government, his involvement and encouragement of a seditious conspiracy to prevent the smooth transition of power after the last presidential election. And there's one other potential crime that he could be on the hook for. I think it's conspiring with some foreign operator or foreign government, being engaged, I think, in some sort of an espionage thing to do with the documents. But the bottom line is, it has been going on for a long, long time, and Merrick Garland is the Attorney General in the United States from the Department of Justice. He's the leading law officer in the United States. He's a very, very conservative career professional, and he has held back and held back and held back and has investigated diligently and assiduously the crimes that Trump clearly has committed, because a blind man can see that he removed documents, classified documents that he had no business removing, and essentially engaged in theft. However, Merrick Garland hasn't pulled the trigger yet and hasn't indicted Trump, and he was waiting, I think, for the midterm elections to take place, and the midterm elections have now taken place. And of course, no sooner have the midterm elections taken place than a couple of days later, Trump announces his candidacy for the 2024 presidential election. And of course, Trump thinks that this is going to give him some protection, some degree of protection from prosecution. And the guy in RTE who's reporting from the United States seemed to be of the same opinion. But my view is that's not the case. And the view of most lawyers, constitutional lawyers in the United States, is that running for the presidency, which won't be held for 2 years, is not going to provide protection against indictment. And in fact, the smart money in the United States among the legal community is that Trump will be indicted. But recently, after Trump only last Tuesday announced his candidacy for the 2024 presidential election and his wish to be the Republican nomination, Merrick Garland appointed a guy called Jack Smith as special counsel. Jack Smith has prosecuted war crimes in Kosovo at The Hague, and he is a career prosecutor. He's a registered independent. He's not Republican. He's not Democrat. He's a career prosecutor, and he's prosecuted war crimes in Kosovo, as I say, at The Hague. This guy is looking into and investigating further the crimes that Trump has committed. And the reason for that is because Merrick Garland is very much aware, and in his own words, he says, in extraordinary circumstances, in certain extraordinary cases, it's in the public interest to appoint a special prosecutor to independently manage an investigation and prosecution, Garland said last week. Due to recent developments, including the former president's announcement that he's a candidate in the next election and the sitting president's intention to be a candidate as well, I have concluded that it is in the public interest. That is, in the public interest to appoint a special counsel. So Jack Smith is the special counsel. He's a career prosecutor. He doesn't have any skin in the game, and he's going to investigate. Ultimately, the decision, however, to prosecute, to indict, is going to be with Merrick Garland. However, Trump immediately sprung into action and did what he always does. He headed for a microphone and a room full of staring idiots in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, and told them that he'll not be treated fairly, he'll not get justice, it's a witch hunt, yada yada yada. Not only that, he went on to describe Special Counsel Jack Smith as super radical left. So Trump's claims, as usual, bear no relationship with reality. But this appointment of a special counsel, Jack Smith, an independent lawyer and a career prosecutor, is bad news for Trump. So the big ass orange jumpsuit may be getting closer for Trump. And anybody who has some respect for the rule of law will be cheering when that happens, if they see Trump arrested and indicted and prosecuted and convicted. Because the rule of law in any civilized democracy is worth upholding. And the attack that Trump foisted on the American people, on the transition, the smooth transition of power after the last election, after losing to Joe Biden, was an appalling betrayal of his office and of the trust that the American people had placed in him for the previous number of years. So anyway, Jack Smith, I'm hoping, special counsel, appointed by Merrick Garland, is going to do the business. Here's hoping.